The problem with all of you, you are interested in quick solutions. If you build a good foundation, the transmission would be automatic.
We see these sums going about.
Corruption is a tool.
So many billions missing.
The corruption is a tool used by people who want to retain power.
Welcome back to the Agora channel on YouTube. We are glad that we are having yet another of the episodes about Uganda's transition question. And today I have with me a man with a long profile, a respected statesman and citizen of Uganda, Flight Captain Francis Babu. Captain, we are glad to have you.
Thank you very much, and good evening, good morning. Thank you very much for coming so that we can have a small conversation on our country.
Yes, Captain, I know quite a bit about politicians, but I was surprised to look at your profile. I don't know how I had never seen this, so I'll just tell our viewers who may not know as much as I did who you are. So, Captain, Flight Captain Babu served as on the Kampala Resistance Council in 1989, and then went on to serve in the National Resistance Council in the 1989. Now, that is the equivalent of parliament, basically.
It was a parliament.
It was a parliament. Yeah. So then he went on to serve in the Constituent Assembly in 1993. Then he served as a minister for primary education, and then the state minister for energy in 1994. In 1999, he served as the minister for housing in Uganda, and then between 1996, the year we got the constitution, to 2006, 10-year period, he was the minister for Kampala. Now, he is here with us, and we're going to put a few questions to him, and we want to get his response. So, Captain, once again, we are glad to have you, and I'll just go straight into it. When the news broke that Kampala had fallen, there was a new sheriff in town, President Museveni had taken over. Where were you at that time, that momentous occasion as it happened, and what was your reaction to the news that President Museveni had now taken over Kampala?
So in 1986, exactly, I was in Kenya. In fact, I was flying at that time with a group of people in a cargo airplane. And I knew, but I had been following. I had been following the revolution.
Okay.
And when Kampala fell, I virtually knew it was going to fall. So that's where I was. I was in Kenya.
So when did you come back to Uganda? And what was the mood like when you came back to Uganda?
In the around 86, I came back to see. And I followed through. I was happy. I tried to get a place where to stay, and I did. I got a place in Nakasero with some friends, and I came back in 86.
Okay. Then how then do you join the revolution? The positions you held, how did you get?
No. I had joined it earlier. I was supporter. I had not liked what had happened in this country. A lot of people give misconception about Uganda. They went to the bush because of elections. No. The problems of Uganda started in the 50s with the parties, and in the 60s with the independence, and the parties crossing floors, people going to prison, removing kingdoms and things like that. All those things, all of them summed up were the problems that had come into this country. We never stabilized from independence. And after the war, the Tanzanians helped us to overthrow the military government. Nothing really happened. So I was a supporter of change.
1980 revolution to 1986, the one of the NRA, was a crystallization of so many factors, so many unaddressed challenges.
Yes.
That came on.
And this is where I get very disappointed by Ugandans. The problems did not start with the 1980
election.
No. That was
a spark.
A spark. Yes. What had started in the 50s, UNC, DP, UNC separating into 2 or 3, eventually getting UPC, legicals not being respected, 1961 elections, 1962 elections. The group of Kabaka Yeka UPC, the crossing of the floors.
That is from DP to UPC, yes.
The mutiny of the army.
Yeah. That's in Ginger, 1964, yes.
Arresting, sacking people in the army, arresting people and putting them into ministers being arrested, removing the kingdoms.
66.
So all these were the problems that culminated into all these problems. So people people have this quick thing, oh, it's because of elections. No. The election had nothing to do with it.
That's true.
Because we had experienced that in 1962 anyway. In 1962, people were even cutting people's matoke plantations.
In the name of an election.
Yes. So the election problems did not start today. They started in the 60s. So that means it is our behavior, bad behavior.
That keeps recurring.
Yes. So when you talk about a revolution, we want a revolution to stabilize the country.
Yes.
Of course, we realized it is not that simple because so many nations were put into Uganda. Uganda was not formed by Africans. It was formed by Europeans.
British, yes.
Yes. So Uganda has never been united as a nation.
So by nations, you mean the Baganda, the Wanyankole, the Bachiga, different nations brought together to form Uganda?
Yeah, people like the Acholis, the Langis, the people from West Nile.
I'm from West
the
Nile.
Arul, the Arul.
Yes.
Nobody has ever put them together. We are all living in a country called Uganda. Are we part of it?
Yeah.
And I think this time has come now. Are we part of Uganda or are we part of where we come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've seen people wearing T-shirts. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yes.
1% Ugandan, 99% Munyankole. 1% Ugandan, 99% Acholi.
Correct.
That
now,
then speak to what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to tell you
Yes.
is that unlike Tanzania, where the man realized right from the beginning he had to unite the country,
Yes.
nobody has ever united us. We've been busy fighting each other
Yes.
than uniting our country.
I'm going to first probe more on what you're saying because this is very interesting. So 40 years of the NRM later, do you think a lot of effort has been done towards that, uniting the country and making us unified as a people?
When people are in these organizations and small groups,
Yes.
they think it's very easy
Yeah.
to run a country.
Yeah.
When NRM, when people were in the bush, things which were being said, we thought they could happen in a year
Yeah.
or 2 years. Unfortunately, it's not that simple to run a state. Statehood is very difficult. It needs very, very sober minds and people who are really sincere. Initially, they had that. If you remember, when they came in, corruption, all sorts of things. The initial government, the first, let me say, the first 10 years, things were moving very well.
That is 86 to 1996.
In 96, up to 2000 something.
Okay.
Then after that, things started having a little bit of a problem. No, they continued because they had got policies put up. But unfortunately, they did not build a strong foundation. They had a constitution which was hanging, but the foundations
We are left.
were not strong enough. You can build a plan
Yes.
of a house.
Yes.
Beautiful. You see it on paper. But if the foundation is not strong, no matter what you build, it will fall down. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move to the gist of this discussion. It seems like there's a contestation between the older people, if I could use that, and the younger people. I'll give you my own perspective. I feel like the rise of the leading opposition party in Uganda today, the National Unity Platform, is mostly a result of that you have these young people come up and then they're saying we want to take over the country and lead it in a particular way that we think is more appropriate. Bob Wine has specifically said he wants to move the country to the digital age and run it a particular way. PLU, the Patriotic League of Uganda, and they too seem to say similar stuff, that there's need to change, need to move to younger people. Do you get the fear that perhaps the revolution, the NRM revolution, has outlived its time?
I do not have fear. I think you have a misconception.
Okay.
What you're fighting with is a misconception.
Okay.
Of people trying to look for an easy way out. If you go back
Yes.
at independence,
Yes.
the eldest people when we got independence was Mutesa and Obote. One was 37, the other one was 35.
Wow.
The rest were below 30.
20s.
So it did not start today young and old. It has been there for years. Now, the young did not start with what you have described. It started in Parliament in NRM. When we were in Parliament, there were a group of people, because they wanted to be recognized, they started something called Young Parliamentarian Association, YPA.
Yes.
Then they started something called PAFO.
Yes.
Then they started something called Reform Agenda.
Yes.
Then they formed a party.
FDC.
Right?
Forum for
Now,
Democratic Change. Yes.
the problem with you people, You are looking for easy way out. So by creating, because we've been brought out with this DNA of sectarianism between tribes, between religion, between everything, we now bring another sectarianism between age. It's in our DNA. So people think by using that route, they can get to the destination where they want to go. It is not young against old. It is a tactic which doesn't work. Like all the tactics. Now, since that tactic started, go back when a reform agenda was done up to now. How many years is it? Has it worked? Because their aim was to remove the leadership which was in power.
Leadership is still the same.
Has it removed?
No, it's not.
Which means that, please, don't even waste your time. Let's find another way of finding solutions to our challenges.
Okay.
So, I don't agree. I have no fear. I just pity those who use that method. I just pity them. Because a man like me brings up my children to be better than me.
Yes.
Our parents, some of them and our grandparents, did not go to school, but they sent us to school. And then our fathers, maybe now they are educated, they sent us to even better schools. So everybody wants their children to be better than they are. So for somebody to bring that statement about young and old is wasting our time.
Okay.
What we need is to get good leaders regardless of age. Okay?
Yes.
A good leader is a leader. Now, if you are not a good leader, whether you are young or old, we don't want you. If you're a good leader, we're young or old,
Don't care about your age
we want you.
or tribe or religion.
That's right. Now, there are people using that to try and make a point. It doesn't work. What I suggest we do, and it's very strong, is that we try to remove the challenges that we are faced with. And the challenge is not all those you have described. The challenge is only one. A man called Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore described systems created by our colonial masters.
Yes.
And one of them was corruption. And that system is for those who have got power to retain power and discourage others from coming up. Now, what is the problem in Uganda actually? Is the problem the 40 years? Is the problem us? Is the problem our culture? What is the problem? Nobody seems to be talking about the actual problem. You see. So we need to sit down.
As a country.
And we need people. I'm not looking for mediocres. I'm looking for serious thinkers. So that we can get this country going.
Yes.
Now, what are the problems? First of all, let's go back in history.
Yes.
There was no country called Uganda here.
No, there wasn't.
When the British came here, they went to a country called Buganda.
Yeah.
And they signed an agreement with them. And they had a king.
Yes.
In fact, in one of their books, they said they had never seen such
an organized
society
as Buganda was.
It was there.
Yeah.
Bunyoro was there. But where did Buganda come from? Bunyoro. Bunyoro was aggressive. He said, the British don't come here to give us rules. So they took their king to Seychelles just to show them who the power was. And you know what is interesting? They were using Africans to do this. They used the Nubians from the north.
Yeah, Sudan. And
so, by 1897, when they went to Berlin,
yes,
they were dividing Africa like a cake.
The Berlin Conference, basically.
Yes.
Take this, I take that.
Yes.
Yes.
And Uganda was drawn all the way up to Naivasha, without Kigezi,
Naivasha in Kenya.
Without Kigezi and without West Nile.
Yes.
But the British had come here in many prongs. And this is one thing nobody talks about. These people called explorers, they were sent to find out what was going on, but at the same time, they are British who came to settle.
Yes.
And the colonial masters first came to Kenya, and they went to South Africa and many other places in Africa. What is very interesting is that a man called Delamere and the colonial masters in Kenya pushed the boundary from Naivasha in 1902 up to the Kisumu area, where it is now.
Yes.
So that by 1926, that became Uganda.
Uganda.
By then, the king of Belgium and the king of Germany had given us Kigezi and West Nile as a birthday present to the Queen of England.
Yes.
So that became Uganda then.
Yes.
So these people formed their own country called Uganda.
It was their project.
It was their project, not ours.
And now we are stuck with their project, aren't we?
Well, no, I'm coming. So for up to that time, up to 1950s,
Yes.
they ruled through our local chiefs. They paid them even salaries. But did you know that? They paid all our people, including the chiefs, including the kings. They got salaries from Britain.
Yes.
From the things that they got from our country, like coffee, what,
Ivory,
whatever.
gold, whatever, yes.
Yes. So, initially they came as traders. Eventually they became as rulers. They took over the country.
And then administrators.
And administrators.
Yes.
So when the wind of change started in 1947 in India and 57 in Africa.
Yes. Starting with Ghana.
Yeah. The British said, no, we better start organizing. And having been a protectorate, they said, oh, Uganda had been friendly. Let's try and make a federation of East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanganyika. The Bagandas refused. They said, no, but you came to our country. Don't tell us what to do. The British did not take that very kindly.
Yeah.
In 1950s, when the UNC was formed, which was strictly the British wanted it to be on the Protestantism level.
Yes. That is the Uganda National Congress, a political party, yes.
Yes. The leader was a Muganda.
Musas.
But the Catholics were not happy because we had religious differences. They formed the DP.
Yeah.
The British realized that all the parties here, which were political, were actually Baganda. And the Baganda had refused the federation, so they were not happy with them. Our political problems started then.
Okay.
Did not start today. So what the British man called Cohen, who was the governor, went
Sir Andrew Cohen.
He went to Kenya and got a man who had been chucked off Makerere University and brought him to join UNC and divided UNC between Baganda and non-Baganda.
Yes.
Non-Baganda formed UPC.
So the man brought from Kenya, in this case, was Obote.
Correct.
Yes.
He was working with the Tom Mboya.
Yes. The trade unionist in Kenya.
So that one started. They formed a Legico initially on the European administrators. They added on Indians.
That
then
is
they added on African.
1945, I think.
Then
Yes.
they added on Africans.
Much
in
later.
1958, Bagandas refused. That Baganda's resistance to join those Uganda, in other words Uganda, was causing a little bit of a problem. And in 1961, when they had elections, Baganda got involved
They boycotted.
through DP, but Bagandas they boycotted.
Yes.
They had 21 members of parliament. So there was negotiation, Lancaster House, what. And in 1962, they had election in April. UPC won, and then Baganda had 21 seats, added it on UPC, and they formed the government. That got us independence. But with a lot of
Frictions.
problems within that system. They made a constitution which was childish.
That is the 1962 constitution.
Yeah, you had a constitution, it's called a sovereign constitution.
Yes.
You had the federal government in there, you had the semi-federal, and you had unitary. In one constitution.
Basically, had three different systems of administering
In one
different
country.
areas within the same country. Yeah.
Again, the British.
Yeah. Goes back to the British.
Now, the people who took power replaced the British. They were not Africans. They replaced the British colonial rule who had gone away. So we got a colonial of created Africans,
They replaced the faces, not the system.
not the system.
So the white man was gone, the black man took over what the white man was doing, essentially. Yes.
Right. Again, loaded with the problems.
Yes.
In that constitution, they put there something called lost counties.
Yeah. Buyaga, Bugangaizi.
Now they are talking about uniting. Again, they are talking about lost counties.
Yeah.
This thing they had found it there.
Yeah.
They could have left it as it was. It created a problem. People died.
Yes.
Not only that, and the people who tried to oppose were arrested. That mutiny of the army The Tanzanian disbanded the whole army. They started a new army.
Yeah, because what you're saying is that there were three. I remember reading that there was one in Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania.
It was called the King's African Rifles, 4th Battalion. It was for the three countries.
Yes.
So what they did in Tanzania, they disbanded that bit. They started a new army. In Kenya, they brought Europeans to start a new army. In Uganda, we promoted the ones who had gone on strike.
We postponed the problem.
Correct. So here we have a country which is running in a different way. So what now happens? We now we have a country, and anybody who tried to oppose was pushed. Technically, the people who had come through the political parties did not like kings.
They wanted what they called, I think, the Republic of Uganda, yes.
You know, they had been brainwashed that we needed a republic. The British are very funny people. They don't have a republic in their country. They wanted one in our country.
Yes, yes.
So that created problems. Eventually, by 1966, they removed our kingdoms, which they had found here, which were
much older than
even the British.
Yes.
So that goes on. And the man who had been used to remove the kingdom, he removed the president, the man who had told him to remove the others.
Yes.
So it became a game.
Yes.
So our country had problems. Then he stayed here. He had other problems. Eventually, he was also removed, using another
country
approach. No, another approach. So the people who came in, they said, we will start where we stopped. Start where we stopped. Within a year after the elections, people crossed the floor again, like in 1963. So it's the same game.
So I'll just explain that. What you're saying by crossing the floor is that I'm elected, say like on the NRM, I go to parliament and then I move to NOOP.
Correct.
Yeah, because to give context for some of our viewers. So the people moved from the DP, which was a opposition.
What is happening now exactly?
Yes,
to people moving from one party to another.
Yeah, when elected as members of parliament.
Correct.
Yes.
So that happened. Another group went and they used a system. But the group which went, I'm now coming back to your word of youth.
Yes.
They were all youth. So if you're talking about youth, there's nothing new about youth. It's a system which is used to try and find support.
A schism, the differences.
That's right. So we managed. They got these people removed. They came in. They tried to find ways and means. In my opinion, that's 40 years later, we are here now. But a lot of things have happened.
So I'll first push one question to you, and then we can continue. This is a very interesting discussion, and thank you for giving us this historical context. Now, so many challenges in the 70s, so many challenges in the 60s. The Kabaka is overthrown. You've mentioned them elaborately, very well, and I appreciate. There are people who seem to say that we seem to have these problems even today. People are picked up from their houses late in the night, sometimes by security forces. Sometimes people are locked up in jail and all that. If you're not worried about the differences with the youth and the elderly people, does this other kind of semblance to what happened back then worry you?
The problem is that nobody ever investigates about those pickups.
Okay.
They only make statements. There are people in this country who think they can use force or they can intimidate government. Those ones who do that, I want you to sit down and think very carefully. Why do they go to a village of 200 people and only pick one person? What could be the reason?
Could it be that
we have security in this country, and we have intelligence in this country, and why do they pick these people up? Forgetting about, we shall come to the mischief. Let's talk about people who are picked up or who are arrested sometimes.
Yes.
So that one we need to investigate. We need to get exactly what happens and stop using it as a propaganda tool.
Okay.
I might agree there might be mistakes which are made, but if they do, we should really come out very clearly. For example, there's a lot of things which are being hidden, like the Kawesa murder and a few others. Those ones can be investigated. I'm not saying they are not there.
They are there.
I'm only saying let us be very exact when we make that statement. Are these people innocent as they claim to be? And that's very, very, very important.
Because if I could chip in, you said, why would they go to a village of 200 and pick one person? I mean, even in the 70s, they could pick one person and say, this one is opposed to the government.
No. Those ones would come and sweep the whole village.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other thing
here people come and they even know your name. Where they get their intelligence from to come and pick you up? So that's one area.
Yes.
But those ones who do it illegally are also the kidnappers.
Yes, because there is a law that says police can arrest you and there's a procedure for that.
No. Those laws, when it comes to security, and I want to wake you people up,
Yes.
security operates in many different forms. They don't have to follow the police code. If you are established that you are forming some sort of terrorism, police virtually doesn't come in.
But doesn't that create a problem then, Captain, that someone could probably give police false intelligence? I am a lawyer. That's part of my other work.
I'm coming to you. I'm coming
Yes,
to that one.
yes.
That's what we have to investigate.
Okay.
Was it illegal, what they did? Was it? But we should not use it as a propaganda. We should establish. I'm not saying it might not be wrong. All I am saying, it is sometimes exaggerated. Now,
Okay.
how would you describe somebody with a hammer hammering a policewoman on the head? What would you call that?
Criminal. Should face the full wrath of the law.
He should not be arrested?
No, they should face the full wrath of the law.
Good.
Without a doubt.
How do you get a person who goes and burns a police station?
Full wrath of the law.
How about the one who goes and beats up a judge of the High Court?
Same. Full wrath of the law.
Now, these others might have things they have done where they are planning to do funny things and the intelligence have it. Now, we need to find out, is it true what the intelligence is doing or wrong? Instead of turning it into a sing-song. Now, those who break human rights when they are in the army or in the police and whatnot, like a few army people trying to steal people's land,
Yes.
like those who try to take people's fight because of women, yes,
They should be dealt with.
they should be also arrested. Those in the government who are doing the wrong things, they should see the wrath of the law. Yes.
Okay.
But it should not be turned into, that is the main game, by relating it to people, by having conspiracy theories. Let us have facts. I don't mind. This policeman did something wrong, should be arrested. This army man did something wrong, should be arrested.
Yes.
But did he do something wrong? Oh, but we saw them arresting. Where did it start from? How about those who had stones and bottles, throwing them to the policemen? What are those? Angels?
No.
So we need to sit down, and yes, I agree, there are people who are misusing government power,
Yeah.
and we should expose them by giving facts.
Okay.
I'm not saying no, they are there. And there are people who are also hiding behind the government when they are kidnappers, they are thieves, they are robbers. There are people who have even used the president's name, they have used the ministers' names in this country. They should be arrested.
Yes.
I agree entirely.
Okay.
I'm not saying, and please let's not get this wrong,
Yes.
those who abuse human rights should be
Fully
dealt
punished.
with strongly. Yes, and we should not encourage it. Yes.
Okay. Now, we've talked about the tumultuous times that Uganda faced. You know, there were these crisis points, 66, 70, 71, 77, 80. What happened in those periods was that there was either a sort of change in the system or change in government, change in the person of the president. And each of them, those came with a very problematic turn of events.
The people who were in power
Yes.
carried out certain solutions which did not work.
Yes. So do you feel now that with hindsight, we as a country, the leading party, the NRM, 40 years in power, has learned and perhaps provided sufficient safeguards to ensure that we don't go through such tumultuous periods again?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
They're still learning.
You don't think so?
Yeah, they have made mistakes. NRM has made mistakes.
Okay.
Yes. Remember when they said we could make roads with the beans and whatnot?
We changed with Cuba, butter trade and all that. And
Remember?
yes, yes,
That was a mistake.
yes.
They realized it does not work in modern age. I'm giving you examples that actually are real.
Yes.
Within 4 years, we would have got this country going. They realized it was not, they could not do it in 4 years.
Someone, I think it was Ziri Twawula, who said it should be 2 years back then.
can't.
Yes.
Statehood is a very difficult thing to do. Whenever some of you, and especially since you said you're a council, to run a country is not easy.
I can imagine.
There are a lot of problems, and a lot of people think solutions are a snap of a finger. It's not. It is something you have to build, and that's where I'm taking you. We must learn, and we must start today to build our nation from the foundation. And we must look at all our people, the 50-something tribes or whatever it is.
About 53 tribes, yes.
Yes. And see if we can find something that is a common denominator and build a foundation that they understand. What did Nyerere do with 102 tribes and diverse
A much
languages?
bigger land size and everything, yes.
He sat down and said, wait a minute. He told us when he came here to say goodbye to us that at independence he had only 8 graduates from university. 8.
The whole Tanzania.
1, 2, 3, 4, yes.
Wow.
1961, so he said, what do I do? After the election, he realized what sort of people had been elected. So who does he choose like a vice president? Would you remember a man called Rashid Kawawa? He was a teacher. He got somebody to be a vice president who related to the masses, number one. Number two, he realized his population needed something that they understood. So the first thing he did, the cement he got to put the people together was language.
Swahili.
The whole of Tanzania did not speak Swahili, by the way.
It was a deliberate government policy to push
Correct.
by Nyerere.
Correct. The next one, he brought something that sounded familiar to all the tribes. Ujamaa.
African socialism.
Ujamaa, no, not really. Ujamaa is some sort of brotherhood.
Villagization and brotherhood.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And the other one is undugu. Undugu
Comradeship.
is actually brotherhood.
Comradeship, brotherhood, yes.
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 So 2 words, which he uses, we must use this to turn our country around. So wherever you are, we now have to work as brothers and sisters to bring our country up.
For the greater good of the country.
With those, the West, and that's where I'm coming to your word you used, they said this man is a communist, the man is a socialist, the man. So they accused him of all those sorts of things, and his economy was virtually came to a grounding heel. So for uniting Tanzania, he paid a price.
The economy went south.
Correct. But he united Tanzania. And today, they have one language, they understand each other,
They are more
and they
united.
now have a foundation where you can build a country. And they've now gone to modern politics. They've even allowed other parties. Now, you can now have elections every 5 years, and people understand why they're having elections. Now, the point is, can we also create a foundation for our country? It might not be the same, but can we get our country to become one?
Yes, that's where I'm going to come in now, Captain. President Museveni is a brilliant student of Nyerere. He mentions him all the time. He's in the move to have him his sainthood declared. Why did he try these attempts and fail? Did he just not adopt them? Or the realities between Uganda and Tanzania proved rather different?
No. People come with ideas. You know, there are many ideas in a fray of human beings. People give views, and they took a path. The one they took, make a constitution, but they thought it could work. The path they took. Over a period, yes, it was, but was it a permanent situation? It had to be. It had to be changed every now and then. When we did a constitution, that was not the end of it. We should have continued to build the nation. We are not in a nation that is running, and this is where the problem is. People think we're already a nation. everything can work. No, we are building a nation.
We are the basics.
We are the best. We are still building. Do these Western
Nations.
copy and paste systems work for us?
No.
Some of them are not working. Are multi-parties working for our countries? My answer is no. They are not.
Your answer is no.
Yes.
About multi-parties.
They are not working.
Okay. We'll get to that.
Yes. The next one is the system of government we took presidential system good? My answer is no.
The presidential system is not good.
It's not good.
So I'll hold that one.
You
What
can
would-
now see, that's my opinion.
Yes. What would you rather have instead of the presidency?
We can have a parliamentary system of government.
Okay.
It's cheaper.
The British have that.
No, that's Westminster.
Mm.
That's
Yeah. So is there a country that has the particular system you think?
yeah, South Africa has got a parliamentary system now, which is slightly different. The president sits in parliament.
Okay.
Now, even the election is different. We don't need a
vote
president
MPs.
elected by the whole country. We elect a party, it goes in there. We can now elect people who go there and form a government without a party if you want. It depends on what you want.
So you think that would work better for Uganda?
Yeah,
than
it's
the
cheaper
current-
even.
We save the money that is spent on the presidential election and.
Correct.
Wow.
And
that's-
then we would reduce. Like Uganda is a small country, 46 million. At independence, we had 15 federal, semi-regional status. Things like Mubende, Masaka, Ankole, Bunyoro, Lango, and whatnot. Those could form the region. We can either use the devolution or we can use federal. The decentralization has not worked.
Yes.
It's got weaknesses.
Yes. They are cash strapped. There's everything. But then, Captain, let me just insist on the question I'd asked earlier about the transition and the politics post Museveni. We've seen countries like Libya, countries like Zimbabwe, and countries like Sudan that had long-serving leaders. When the leader leaves, it seems like that probably marks the end of whatever attempts they had made to build a country. For the case of Sudan now, which is in conflict, for the case of Libya, which has been in conflict, and for the case of Zimbabwe that keeps pushing all these refugees to South Africa and other parts of the world. How does Uganda avoid that trap after Museveni?
The problem with all of you, you are interested in quick solutions. You have refused to build. If you build a good foundation, the transmission would be automatic.
So what would that smooth
That's
system
the
look
one
like?
I told you. We must build a foundation
Yeah.
and systems that we understand, and automatically leaders would emerge.
So now we don't see them emerging yet?
No, we've copied a system that doesn't work for us.
Okay.
And the people are using all sorts of methods to use those systems to get where they want by giving the foreigners an impression that we are democratic. And we should revise them as we go along to see that they suit the time and to see that they work for this country. And the one I gave you to start with, let's not waste time, let's unite this country
Okay.
as a foundation and then start building by having good masons, not having people who can't even put a brick.
Yes.
You have a very good foundation, then you bring people who can't build, it will fall down.
Yeah.
So we need people who can build the country.
Do you think enough attempts are a bit? Because yes, I hear this all the time. Many people say this, that we need to have truth and national reconciliation. We need to start talking to each other as a country, and all these attempts.
Forget about that. We need people who want to build a country, not to reconcile with who.
Within
You're
ourselves,
reconciling yourself.
within
For
ourselves.
doing what?
So
For
there's-
having done what?
Yeah, there's this fear that there are parts of the country
For
that
having not known what to do?
that there are parts of the country that have questions.
The problem is you don't know what to do and you're reconciling what? What you don't know what to do?
Okay.
Yes.
So
I think we're wasting time. Let us find what are the challenges, find solutions. Forget about reconciliation. With who? We're all part of the mistake.
Okay.
Yes.
Then how do we go about it? If you are in
Told
charge,
you. Let's get the foundation started.
yeah, how do we now start that? We are now at this. We are now at this level.
Let's look at the 15
Tribes.
sub-regions I've
Oh,
told you.
yes,
It's not
yes,
tribes,
yes.
the sub-regions I've
Yes,
told you.
yes.
How do we get valences? You did a bit of chemistry.
Yes.
To unite each one of those so that they are one.
Okay.
What can make us unite them?
Yeah, that's a good question.
How do I get a man in West Nile to feel comfortable that he's united with the Buganda?
Yes.
How do I make them to say you are the same?
You're all Ugandans.
Yes. We're doing something called Ugandans, but you've got to be one before that Ugandan can be there. Once we've got that foundation, now we start building. What are the models that are available to us?
Which one
What
works
model
best?
should we use? You've talked about presidential, we know about Westminster government, we know about the South African, we know about the Indian, we know about different people. What can suit us? Should we copy those or should we use our culture
As the foundation, as the basis.
as a foundation to get ours? Why were they doing it in Bunyoro? How were they doing it in Buganda? How were they doing it with Arul? How were they doing it in Acholi? How can we get systems that come together, eventually bring them together and form a system that can work for us? That is where you're supposed to go, not reconcile with who.
Yeah. And then finally, I'm going to ask you the final bit on this particular issue.
Yes.
The party you support, the NRM, the National Resistance Movement, has reached out to some opposition parties, like the UPC, historical party, of course, the Democratic Party, another historical party, and said, let's come together and work towards the good of the country. What would be your scorecard of
I call that a quick fix.
quick fix?
Quick fix. Let's do this so that we can continue to stay.
They're not addressing the actual problem.
No. That's a quick fix.
So we shouldn't expect much.
We're wasting time.
Time wasting again.
A quick fix. And we should stop being brainwashed. We have to build these nations, whether we like it or not.
And you've said a lot about the divisions that we had before the British came. Our divisions because we were forced together. Otherwise, we're all comfortable in our own tribes. Yeah,
Right.
Baganda were comfortable, the Banyoro. We could have continued. But now that in the modern political era, if I call it the modern political era, you have other divisions that have emerged, essentially also on the basis of political parties. You talked about the man who had a hammer and he was beating a police officer, unfortunately.
Those are symptoms of bad leadership.
Symptoms of bad leadership. Yeah, now those political divides, where people think that
The divides are not, those are not divides.
Yes.
The divide is very simple. There was the difference between the tribes, which was enhanced by the British,
Yes.
using his method of divide and rule.
Yes.
Then the religion came, we had another division between religions.
Yes.
Then came the difference between, you have just talked about young and old.
There was also elite and non-elite in the
Then
70s.
the
Yes.
British brought parties. So you have, if you put the permutation using statistics of the so many divisions, you can get an answer. That is the problem. The problem is not what you're talking about are symptoms of
The bigger
the
problem.
weakness of this whole system,
Okay.
the challenges we have. If you remove those challenges, you would not have those problems.
You talked earlier about the aspect of corruption, and you said that this is probably one of the biggest problems we have as a country, if not the biggest. We see these sums going about.
Corruption is a tool.
So many billions missing, so many, yes.
The corruption is a tool used by people who want to retain power.
It's a means to the end of retaining power.
That's right. Once I am corrupt, I control that group and I have the power to control the system. And the people who are corrupt, they can destroy an institution. They can destroy people. They can destroy a country. Corruption is a tool used for those who want to retain power to use effectively. And it has been used. And the Western countries use it against a lot of us to control us wherever we are. You can imagine corruption being used to destroy the talents that we have, that would have worked in this country to build it. And they go to foreign country.
That's brain drain.
You've answered the question.
Yeah.
So
And-
corruption can be used to destroy a country. It's a cancer. And dangerous one.
Yeah.
And that's where people like Lee Kuan Yew right from the beginning said, we
No
will
corruption.
be very aggressive against corruption. And the punishment in those countries is a capital offense. You don't corrupt our system. Why? And we know. Removing you is easier than maintaining our country. and for the future of our generation.
Can
and
sacrifice
prosperity.
anyone, but not the countries.
Not the country.
And now, you've been very, very persistent on saying we need to learn our own, develop our own modes and move on. Maybe perhaps now in the fight for corruption, fight against corruption, maybe we can then learn that if it is dealt with decisively, as Lee Kuan Yew did, or Park Chung-hee in South Korea did.
I know, and China. China is the
China,
best.
even now, yes, China does it. You corrupt, you go to the gallons and you pay the heaviest price. Even Vietnam, I think, those South Asian countries, they're really serious with it. So do you think we need to learn from them?
We need to learn very seriously. We have to stop being brainwashed by the West. The West have hypnotized Africans, and they move on the finger click by the West. And their educational system, we have to examine it very nicely, use it very frequently, learn what they've got. But remember, at the end of the day, like Mbeki said in Parliament, we are Africans.
I am an African. Thabo Mbeki, that's the former president of South Africa.
Correct.
For context.
I am an African.
Yes.
Are you? Think.
Yes.
What does being an African mean? I am an African. My color, I'm an African. My music,
He's African.
I'm an African. At the end of it all, I am an African.
Yeah. You've hinted about this, but we see political contestations in this country tend to get very, very nasty. Playing out in the open, people exchanging.
Creating fear.
Okay.
You know, human beings are easy to intimidate.
Okay.
We all have some sort of things we fear. We fear water, we fear fire,
Hi.
we fear this. So somebody those smart fellow, they use the system to create fear among others.
Okay.
Okay. And it's unfortunate. It is another way, it's another word. It's part of corruption.
Goes back.
To corruption. You corrupt. You use propaganda.
You've said corruption is essentially because people want to keep themselves in power. Why are people so desperate to keep themselves in power in this country?
It's human nature.
I mean,
we are animals.
You talked about
we
Nyerere.
like to dominate others.
You talked about Nyerere. He did 24 years and said, well, I can move on.
Nyerere was a man. He had certain values. His tribe, his religion, his education.
We don't seem to have a lot of that in Uganda.
And we do. They're there. I've got a young man I went to see the other day, a lawyer. I was very impressed. Makerere University, London School of Law. He went to one of the inns, United States, University of Harvard. He can practice in America, can practice in Britain, can practice in Uganda. I mean, we have people who are highly qualified. What we need to do is to make them think, I am an African.
An African. But our current crop of leaders.
No, we have.
No, I'm just saying. Let me give you a typical example.
Listen, I can make you a leader.
Yes,
you
you
are
can.
a leader.
I am.
My job is to make you become a better leader. So I'm not doing this country a favor.
By leading.
No, I'm using my position to make you the next better leader, and I can do it.
Yes.
That's a leader.
Yes.
We're not looking for people who put on suits
Yes.
and brag.
Yes.
We are looking
And shop in German and then come and tell us about being
We are
Africans.
looking for somebody who can make others leaders.
Yes.
Yes.
And my final question to you today, unless there's another one, this shackle of the colonial hangover. There've been so many attempts to shake it off, so many attempts to think, how do we move away from here? And many of them have failed. And you've essentially said we need to first look within ourselves and get a group of people that are willing to build the foundation and move the country forward. There is this other aspect of neo-colonialism. The world is now, you have the Eastern Bloc, the Western Bloc, you have China coming up. We always seem like the meal, the dinner, ready for the rest of the world to eat, as Africans.
There's a cartoon showing that.
I've seen that
being
cartoon
on the dinner table.
Yes, I've seen that cartoon.
Action speaks louder than words. Some of us have read so much Shakespeare, we tend to like to prefer words. Let's talk about action. First of all, we must respect the West. They have managed through their system and their education to develop their parts of the world. But like all generation, they will come to an end. The Roman Empire failed, the Greek Empire failed, even the West will fail. But we must learn from them. One of the television programs I watched some time ago, a man asked the question, why is it that the East, the Indians, the Chinese, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, seem to do very well using the West? The answer is very simple. They understudy the West, bring the good things, and apply only the good things to themselves, but they don't antagonize the West.
And they keep their own that is good as well.
Correct. So our problem, people talk about antagonizing them. What do you want to let them be? Let us work with them.
Take care of your house.
Take care of your house. This is where the problem is. Become active. Learn. Use it. Understudy. Take your best to Harvard, to Oxford, to Sorbonne. Get your best students. Bring them home. Make them better leaders. And tell them this is where we are going. And they should always remember we are Africans, not French, not English, not Americans.
Are our current crop of leaders as Ugandans up to the task?
Yes. Some of you are. They have not been given a chance. Do you know how many of you I could get today to the Harvard School of Government Studies and come back and be good leaders? I told you we are 46 million.
Yes.
Divide it by 10, you get 4.6 million. 4.6 million, did make it half. Out of 2.6 million, you think we can't get good leaders?
Sure we can.
It's a rule of thumb. Don't even waste your time.
My fear then is that when bad leaders keep being seen more frequently, they end up, like
No,
the rotten apple. The rotten apple that
there's
spoils.
a thing that has come all over the world, including America. It's called propaganda in politics. It is skewing ideas.
Yes.
It's not helping us to do the right thing. This propaganda has spoiled. In fact, in America, it has become a problem. Even here, there's a lot of propaganda than action. And they went with that word. Action speaks louder than words.
So thank you very much, Captain. I'm going to ask you to have the last word to our viewers, especially addressing them on the issue that we already talked about a bit of. How should they see this country? What stakes they should have in it? And how should they continue that discussion of life after the NRM or after whoever comes past President Museveni?
What are the challenges to our nation? What are the challenges? Who are the architects who can help us to overcome those challenges? Where are they? The leadership we have today, President Museveni was done very well for 40 years. We'd like to thank him with all the ups and downs. How can he help us to get these architects who can turn our country so that it moves on track? Because we are off track. Bring it back on track. And get our people to understand. This is no longer a joke. It's not propaganda. We don't want propaganda. What has happened has happened. Let us stop crying over spilled milk. Let us bring our country back to track and move it forward. It's never too late.
Thank you very much, Captain.